Okay, we're apparently live on air. Hoorah! Just getting the house in order, as it were. I might just put a thing on Facebook and join me for a live stream. And put the linky poo in there. Posty. Okay, so that's done. Excellent. And now we set up the chat. Now, okay, hello Tara, you're here. I was about to say, I don't see anyone in the chat yet. And just as I go to say it, people say hi. Hi, Tariana and Celtic King. I noticed that there's this weird part in my hair. It's like I got sort of split right there. There you go, it's gone now. That was just weird, my hair deciding to do that. And hi, Chris Smith and Pied Wolfie. And Seth, hello. Oh, look, gang's all rocking on in for a Tuesday night live chatteroony. How's everyone going? I'm going fine. Why have we got 16 unlikes already? Have we? Really? I thought I'd gotten rid of most of the trolls, but that would be funny. That's really funny. My God. I just, this is a thought that always occurs to me with those trolls. Hi, Bill. I always wonder with those trolls, what's it like having such a sad, meaningless life that you obsess over someone who doesn't even know you exist? It's just like, I find that super weird that they want to make a big song and dance over me and obsess over me. I have no fucking idea who they are. I mean, I also don't care who they are, but just that's the weird bit of their behavior to me, that they're that obsessive. I've got no idea who they are. Hi, Charlie. Seth, you think there's some Russian Trump supporting trolls? And hello, Big Pat. How you doing? I mean, there's a lot of that. Hello, Heretic. It's very good because yes, hey, Musical Aviator. Yeah, it was good to hang out. We hung out at White Night, which was a fun night out. It was a good time. Yeah, the whole Russian troll thing, I don't attract much of that because I don't talk that much about it, I guess. But I remember once just casually saying, like, you know, Putin murders his political opponents and getting this angry comment, where's your evidence? I'm like, dude, if you're going to fucking come and stand for Putin, I'm really not going to pay any attention to you. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Oh, it's okay, Tired Wolfie. It's, like I say, because you don't actually live in Melbourne, but it's hard to get there. Hey, Tendai, how's it going? Bill, you do make a point that the sad little dweebs who do dislikes on my videos, they actually improve my standing on the algorithms because that level of interaction is read by the YouTube algorithm as a positive thing. But, you know, they're just sad little dweebs. It's like, I don't know, it's like, whatever, man. It's not a thing I've ever done. Just obsess over someone. Because, I mean, the world and the internet is full of people I don't like, or full of people who say things I don't like. But I don't spend my time obsessing over them and also harassing them and demanding that they change who they are. Wolfie moved back home after abusive relationship breakdown. Sounds like an absolutely fantastic decision to have made. One good for your physical and mental health. Yes, Seth, I do have a green drink tonight. It's like a lemon lime drink I'm having tonight. Yeah, Bill. It's just when there's one particular troll who has an obsession with you and they have a pretty big following and they tell their following to go and harass you. That means that 1,000 or so of these trolls, according to YouTube's messed up algorithm, are saying I'm an anti-SJW host. Is that what shows up in the related videos? Yeah, it must just use the same words, the same tags and that sort of thing. But also, I think the related videos are different for each person because they're sort of 50% based on my video that's there, but also 50% based on the individual person's browsing history. So yeah, either way, I don't have control over everything. That's Bearing. That's what I dislike about you. What's the same about Bearing? Bearing's a sad little misogynist twerp who's got an obsession with me, and he's got a legion of pathetic, fucked up little loser sycophant followers who can't think for them fucking selves. Jesus Christ. Hey, Damage, how's it going? Yeah, the other thing that trolls have in common is their extreme cowardice. So, Tara, going to be hot tonight, hot in the old city. I don't know. There's just, I mean, most of the trolls are gone. There's just a little dribbling of really particularly sad ones. It's like the thing I really don't get. Why are you so obsessed with me? Seth, it's 28 degrees in Oregon at 1 a.m. Are you talking Celsius or Fahrenheit? Big Pat, and my girlfriend, my family, everyone's well. Thank you, Big Pat. Thank you for asking, and I hope you and everyone in your world is well as well. Yes, La Heretic, sad little trolls popping up. I noticed also that sad little troll who wrote the "kill yourself" also immediately deleted it because they know that could get their account banned. So really, you know, they really are the champions of free speech, and they're not at all sniveling cowards. Anyway, Seth, 28 Fahrenheit. See, I don't even know what that is. That's somewhere near freezing, isn't it? I'm never any good on the conversion of Fahrenheit to Celsius. Celtic King, is White Wine Spritzer a song by the Ned Flanders tribute band, Oakley Tokley? Oh, Chris, I haven't seen John Oliver show yet this week. I've got it recorded to watch. But he had a crack at Barnaby. That's pretty good. Wolfie, am I angry about the gun debate? Well, you know, I've said all I'm ever going to say on it. Nothing's going to change in the US. Mind you, I see this little groundswell happening with the students in the US who say they're going to have a national walkout day on April 20th, the anniversary of the Columbine shootings. Hey, I hope it works. I hope they actually seize control of the national debate and actually finally get some common sense happening. But I'm not holding my breath because there's some fucking cultural sickness in the US that I'm completely unable to wrap my head around. So, Wolfie, you keep missing my stream. I'm pro gun control. I think the situation in America is ridiculous. I think the entire rest of the world has shown what the solution, or at least how to reduce the problem they're suffering from. And there's just some rank stupidity and hypocrisy and lies that stop effective change from happening. And I'm like, I don't invest any emotion in, you know, the latest gun massacre in America at all, because there's a new one every fucking week. And no one does anything about it. Why would I invest emotional energy when it isn't going to change? La Heretic, did I read about Fox News' streaming service? They've got to have a safe space for right wingers called Fox Nation. So like, so like a live streaming thing like this where they can all hang out together. Look, if they all went and hung out in one place that I didn't have to be around, I'd be happy. Okay, I am just going to address what this latest sad, pathetic, worthless, shit-eating, bearing troll is saying. For those who don't know, he's telling a blatant lie there, saying Bearing tried to have a meaningful conversation with you, but you said I hope his family die and stuff, so I started. That is a blatant lie. In one of my live streams, Bearing came in under a fake username and proceeded to tell lies. Proceeded to say his poor little innocent Jimmy from the western suburbs, who had actually definitely been stabbed by an African gang, and his family were in danger. And he lied, okay? He made up a story, and it was obvious to me that this person, although I didn't know it was the sad, pathetic, worthless, shit-eating, losing Bearing at this point, I just knew it was a pathetic, racist liar. And so, yeah, when they wouldn't shut up saying their dumb shit, which was obviously lies, I said, no, fuck it, I'm glad you got stabbed. I want your whole family to get stabbed. You're a fucking loser. So, if you're going to stand for a sad, pathetic, worthless, lying, cowardly, racist, misogynist shitbag, you're going to be a loser your whole life, okay? He's a worthless fucking coward and a liar, okay? It's just pathetic. It's beyond a joke what a sad, pathetic liar he is. Oh God, hey, I've got this awesome idea. I don't waste any more time on a pathetic troll loser. Jesus fucking Christ. Honestly, how someone manages to be that pathetic, I find it a little bit difficult to understand. And hello to you, Miss Foxification. Thanks for joining the gang. The gang and a few trolls are all here. Oh, I'm just actually just while we're thinking, I'm pay no attention to me. I'm just going to make one little change because this is a fun thing. Like people often say, like when one of these troll mobs decide to attack me, and I, without hesitation, I go for blocking them, deleting their comments, and even doing the thing what I'm just doing now is so the thumbs up, thumbs down won't show anymore, because that's their one thing. They feel like that's their power, that they can go out and make their voice heard. So I love taking that away from them because they get super upset by that. They get super upset that no, they can't say things on my channel. No, they can't control the things on my channel. And they just get super upset, and that's why I do it. But they're going, oh no, my free speech, my free speech. Am I a god? Maybe. Or one of the endless, or an eternal. I always liked in Neil Gaiman's Sandman comic, the family known as the Endless, who were the personification of certain states of being. Destiny is the oldest because the first thing that existed had a destiny. Death is the second oldest because the first thing that was born was going to die. Dream is the next oldest because as soon as an entity becomes conscious, it starts to dream. And then we go down the family line into destruction, desire, despair, and delight, who became delirium. So, yeah. Bill's life sometimes suck balls. That's true, but I'm yeah, heretic. I'm like Shrek. Angry is love. Angry is life. Oh, misfoxification. I like your idea of calling him something else to not even show him any respect. One of the funny ones, someone who has a bigger, far bigger name than that worthless turd, a much bigger channel following, and did attack videos on me. I made jokes about him and called him, and I was just being super juvenile. I called him Sad Act of Ass Hats or something. You know, he uses his name Sargon of Akkad, and I just went for something really juvenile, calling him, "Well, Mr. Sad Act of Ass Hats," and because I was mucking around in one video, I made a series of stupid misnamings of him, and I actually had his fanboys saying I was too dumb to know the guy's real username. Like, I was not being subtle. I was not being difficult or obtuse. I was clearly just making fun of his usernames. But his fanboys are that fucking stupid that I actually had them going, "Oh, you're so dumb, you don't even know how to say his name." I'm going, really? Really? Are there? I mean, I have a really low opinion of people generally, but to be that stupid, it's like, what? Oh, a heretic. That's the perfect bit of thinking. Baron's avatar looks like the Berenstain Bears if they had a racist cunt as a child. So maybe just call him Stain. So declared, La Heretic. So declared. When we refer to that pathetic troll and his followers, he is Stain. And his sycophantic troll circle jerkers are the shit stains. There we go. That is nicely done, La Heretic. 2 thumbs up for you. Yeah, Stain and the shit stains. Misfoxification, I think I'll go with. Tendai, yes, you're right. Calgon, embodiment of the Dunning-Kruger effect. For those who've never heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect, it's a thing that was observed by 2, I don't know what they fall under, if they're social scientists, but their names were Dunning and Kruger. And what they noticed is the less qualified someone is to understand something, the less likely they are to realize how unqualified. Like, basically, the more stupid someone is, the less capable they are of realizing how stupid they are. Whereas someone who's more intelligent is actually more likely to have doubt and second guess themselves. Where someone who is less intelligent and less of a clue of what's going on is far more likely to be 100% sure that they're right about the thing that they know nothing about. So, yeah. Smiley Cat, we're just talking about trolls and the Dunning-Kruger effect at the moment. The lead singer of DOA goes by the name Joey Shithead. That's an old punk quality there. Celtic King, you want to play with your man? Do I want to play with your man boobs? I have my own here. Thank you very much. But thank you for the offer. Thank you for the offer. You know, that's the thing. You know, skinny guys. Maybe they're skinny, but you know, they're not as good to snuggle up to, is what I'm saying. I give better hugs than skinny guys. That's what I'm saying. But don't just take my word for it. I'm sure there are some people who'll vouch for me somewhere in the world. But yes. So yeah. So shows your man boobs. Look, I think that goes against YouTube's terms of service if I get my boobs out. Bill, there's no two ways around me being an asshole sometimes. There's the thing. YouTube is full of people who would rather pander than take a stand on something because they're more obsessed with more people liking them, getting more views, and being a YouTube star. I'm just not into pandering. So, yep, if I swear to God, I think most people must think I'm an asshole at some point or have said some asshole things at some point. So, my friend, when you say I can be an asshole sometimes, I would merely reply, guilty as charged. It would be foolish of me to suggest that I'm not aggressive and obnoxious sometimes. Even I sometimes, after the fact, think, yeah, I might have gone too far. And interestingly, not on YouTube videos. Other things that have happened on social media once or twice, I've thought after the fact, oh, that wasn't very productive. That went the wrong way there. But I can't think of any YouTube videos that I feel like stepping back from. Um, if I've upset someone with something I've said in a YouTube video, that was premeditated. That was my intention. And yeah, I'm thinking I can't think of anything I've put in a YouTube video that I want to step back from. I mean, mind you, there's no way I can remember everything I've said in YouTube videos because I have posted thousands of YouTube videos. And every now and then someone watches one of my old videos and makes a comment that's a reference to something in the video. And I'd be like, oh, I know what I said. Bill, out of interest, when you say what I said about bearing was quite bad, help me out, buddy. What particular thing are you saying? That's that you're going to have to narrow it down, and I'll tell you if I think it was bad or not. Shellformer did an analogy. Sounds like the tortoise and the hare. Oh, there you go. We're talking about different terms for man boobs. Moobs. I've always been fond of moobs, actually. Man boobs, shortened to moobs. Yeah, Bill, no, I get it. But you said maybe what I said about bearing was bad. Like, I'm interested in what you think. So I can tell you whether I stand by it or not. Yeah, if I just called him a worthless, sniveling, shit-eating, coward, hypocrite, misogynist, Nazi apologist, cunt, that's just a simple objective evaluation of who and what he is. But if it's something else, I'd be moobs, Celtic King, man boobs. It's a contraction. Moobs. Got moobs. No getting around the fact I've got moobs. Yes, I think, okay, we all agree boobs are therapeutic. Whether you go for the lady type or the man type, something to cushion your head on can be very therapeutic. Not just a nice handful. Just a nice handful. Can be okay. Bill, that thing I said, which again, just before I said with it, that happened, and I haven't watched his video, so I don't know exactly what he said, but it's clearly like what happened before he did that attack video on me. He came into one of my live streams. under a false username and started lying and saying he'd been stabbed by an African gang member. And I was like, and it was obvious he was lying and he was trolling and talking in bad faith. And at some point I got the shits and just said, because I knew the person was lying, I was like, cool, I hope you and your whole family get fucking killed, okay? Or I said something like that. I don't know. And that, in my not very humble opinion, is completely justified because he was lying and he was misrepresenting, and even representing that as something that I genuinely want for someone is an obvious lie. I was obviously just had the shits with someone who was clearly lying, and that was my way of telling them to fuck off. Their lie was not going to get me to be sympathetic towards them because I knew they were lying, so I exaggerated it with hyperbole. Everything about that story from the shit stain, from what he said, is a lie. He's a liar. He came in misrepresenting himself. He edits his attack videos to take stuff out of context. He's a liar. I don't take back at all that when someone is being an obviously lying racist troll, I'm going to tell them to get fucked in whatever way I see fit. So it's as simple as that. It's a liar. Should talk about AngryAussie. AngryAussie came out for White Night on the weekend, and there was a question, have I got my kilt? Yes, I got my kilt for Christmas, actually. I got to deliver it on New Year's Eve, and I've worn it in a live stream before. I'm not wearing it today. I did wear it out to White Night on the weekend. That was the first time I wore it out to a big public event. I've worn it to the local shops here, but that was like a big public event with hundreds of thousands of people out. I was wearing my kilt. Musical Aviator was there. How did the kilt look? See, Musical Aviator can tell you if the kilt's a good look or not. But no one said anything all night. I was out in these really big crowds and nobody said anything. No, I tell a lie. The time I got home, I got off a train and I was listening to music, so I didn't quite get it, but I realized as I was walking away from the station, this bloke did shout something along the lines of nice dress. And I didn't really get a good look at him. There was like half a block away by the time I realized he'd said something. So I didn't even talk to him, because I would say if someone had said it or wanted to make a scene, I would have liked to have had a genuine conversation with someone, particularly if they thought, why is a man wearing a dress? I would have liked to have had a genuine conversation with someone. How does that make you feel? Why is it even a thing that you feel something about what I'm wearing? That would have been interesting to me, because no one's ever said no stranger has ever said anything to me in public about wearing my kilt. Tendai, did I do the Braveheart thing, as in flash the crowds? No, and a few, because I was hanging out with a group of people I know through the YouTube world, and he a few of the gang were saying, how Scottish are you tonight? What's under there? And I remained a man of mystery, and I said, what's under the kilt is between me and any sudden gusts of wind. But apparently I sat like a dignified lady all night because I never flashed anyone, so no one knew. Michelle Former, yes, you're right. Stain lied about being a victim of serious crime, lied about who he was, lied about his motivations. I saw through his motivations. I had no idea it was the Stain. I just thought it was a random lying racist. But yes, I have no qualms about telling someone exactly. No, Celtic King, you can't give me a blowjob in the live stream. I'm quite sure Mrs. Angry would object to that. So that would be a non-starter. And also it would be against YouTube terms of service as well. What's under the kilt? Another kilt. I almost got a second kilt, because when I got the first one, they sent me an email saying, do you like your kilt? You know, would you post a review? And so I do. I think my kilt's fucking awesome. So I posted a review and said, it's awesome. And then they said, oh, because you posted a review, we'll give you a voucher for 25%. And that was really tempting. 25% off, I almost got another kilt, but I didn't. Because I was trying to decide there are other utility kilts. You can get them in a few colors. And of course, there are the tartan kilts. Because I got a plain black one, a black utility kilt. Yes, shelf warmer. That's the line I remember from the goodies. What's worn under the kilt? Nothing. It's all in perfect working order. And hello to you, Toby. Damaging. I got it online, and that actually, the reason I got it is because of one of the live chats, like which would have been, I guess, in December last year, and we were having a conversation where we talked about what do you call it, gender-specific clothes, and the question was, would I wear a dress? And my basic answer was, well, probably not, because it just doesn't really appeal to me as an accoutrement. And then someone said, what about kilts? And so kilt maybe. And then someone said, oh, have you seen utility kilts? So, oh, it was you, Damage, who brought it up. Okay. So yeah, so then I just looked up utility kilts online, and really liked them, and ended up getting one, and was very happy with it. Toby, everyone here in Angry House is well, thank you. And I did get to see Aidsy on the weekend. We were both at White Night in Melbourne with a few others, and he was in fairly fine form. So do I remember the exact website I got it from, actually? It was called Scottish Kilt Shop. Okay, there you go. I got my utility kilt, which I recommend as being of good quality, from scottishkiltshop.com. So yes. Le Heretic, well, look, I'll let you in on a secret. I have some tartan brief box. What do you call the ones that are like the skin tight boxes? So they're not boxes. Trunks. They get called trunks, don't they? I have some tartan trunks. So if anything got showed up by a breeze, people would see tartan, which I thought was doing. Project Redfoot, getting my painting framed. Yes, I do remember you saying it. Oh gosh, you're actually framing. Yeah, I know, it is crazy expensive to frame canvas. Ugh, wow. Well, I try and talk you out of it. The idea of you spending all that expense makes me feel really guilty, but I'm quite looking forward to it, I have to admit. So yeah, the kilt got its first really big outing to a big event in Melbourne City, and nobody said anything. Even when we were around the house or just down to local shops, I did ask my offspring, who were like 17 and 20, were they hugely embarrassed at the idea of me wearing the kilt? And they were just like, nah, you do you, whatever you want to do, that's fine. Oh God, that's what another thing I need to do. Make some notes. We were talking last time. Ooh, what's this? Some mail I may have forgotten about. I better look in case it's a bill. Oh, no, it's not a bill. That's actually kind of good. Okay. Cool. I should take some notes because I want to have a conversation with you all now. Well, I've just got to go over here and grab a pen or a pencil so I can take notes. Yeah, a Sharpie, that'll do. Okay, so our next fun game is to come up with some cocktails. The Heretic said I haven't watched the Heretic. No, I still haven't watched ContraPoints. I don't know Bummer Guy. I do know Dick Coughlin. I don't watch a huge amount of. I don't watch huge Dick. I don't watch huge amount of Dick. It's very hard not to start making dick jokes when we start talking about someone whose name is Dick. I do interact with Dick online. Oh, this just doesn't stop. It appeals to my juvenile sense of humour. But yeah, of those, the only one I know in any detail is Dick Coughlin. And that would, I'm sure that's how you pronounce his last name too. It looks like Coughlin. I'm sure you pronounce it Coughlin. Yes, Charlie, it's hard. I'm talking about Dick and it's hard not to. Very hard, yes. Seth, what do you call vodka and Mountain Dew? That would be American Mountain Dew that has caffeine in it, yeah? Because Mountain Dew in Australia doesn't have caffeine in it. Until recently, there was actually a law that only cola was allowed to have caffeine in it. Oh, Project Redfoot. Vodka and Mountain Dew should be called a Dew driver. Oh, I back that. Bill, YouTube sucks, but you got YouTube Red to watch. Is that what you're saying? The reason I'm bringing up cocktails, the people from previous live stream will know that. One faithful viewer told me they were listening to a right-wing podcast, you know, just to hear what they were talking about. And there were some people who were really upset at me for drinking cocktails. Because I posted a picture of me on social media with a book that Mrs. Angry got me for Christmas, which is a cocktail book. It's not just cocktail recipes, it was sort of the history of cocktails and talking about techniques and what's a really cool book. And we, often have cocktail nights on, like Friday or Saturday night, make cocktails. And I found it hilarious that there are these saddos on a right-wing podcast who got really upset at me being into cocktails. And apparently to them, this is symbolic of the collapse of Western masculinity or something equally stupid. So I have decided I'm going to deliberately wind them up. I used to make some videos where I was making my flavored alcohols. I still make the flavored alcohols. I haven't made videos for a while, but I'm going to make some cocktails. Toby, go watch some Kilt reviews. That sounds like a good idea. But I'm going to make some cocktails, and these are cocktails designed to deliberately wind up these insecure idiots, and I've got to give the drinks insulting names, or maybe even just start with an insulting name. And oh god, I'm fidgeting and I dropped Sharpie. Just a sec. Maybe start with an insulting name and decide what would be in that. The two that I have in mind is one's either going to be called just male tears, or I might call it MRA tears, as in men's right activist tears. Although I might upset more people if I just called it male tears. So that clearly has to be something salty. Hey, Major Frost. Yeah, pretty good, thank you. Having a good night so far. So a male tears cocktail has to be something salty, obviously. And I can think of two ways to go with that. One would be a salt-rimmed glass, like tequila. A lot of tequila drinks, you have them with salt, like a salt-rimmed glass. So it could either go a salt-rimmed, like a tequila-based drink with a salt-rimmed, it'll be a cocktail glass too. Or I do have some vodka flavored with salted caramel. I've got like salted caramel vodka. So that could be the other way to go, a salted caramel flavor. Mofo Sign, yes, we are inventing a new cocktail named Male Tears. That's the first one. Got to decide, is it going to be, is the saltiness going to be like a salt-rimmed glass, or will I make it like, because I do have some salted caramel vodka. Either of those would be, I do, hey Joe, how's it going? So what color vodka is the salted caramel? It's quite yellow. Look, it's just here. Where is it? Ow. This is salted caramel vodka. It's had salted caramel rock candy dissolved in it, and it's gone quite a yellow color. No male tears has to have it on the glass. You think a salt rim glass, like a tequila? I might make a tequila based drink with a salt rim glass. We call that male tears. That could be it. Miss Foxification, men going their own way. 2 drops of vodka and water, weak and tasteless. Oh, shelf warmer. I could make a green drink like this, and work gay frogs into that somehow. Bill, you know, a cocktail called the cum stain. I'm open to suggestions as to what might be in that. The second one I've already got in mind, and I pretty much know what I'm going to put in this. It's a variation on another cocktail I've had. Is going to be called Fragile Masculinity, and it's going to be pink, obviously. Bill, I feel like I like it. Look, the name cum stain is right up there. You just have to tell me what the ingredients are. Safa, crazy wind yesterday. You're right. We had like a day or two of quite crazy winds around here. Project Redfoot, butterscotch schnapps and cinnamon whiskey. Call it grandma's medicine. That's interesting. Ooh, Miss Foxification, a cocktail list. Nice. Music Aviator, you had to not watch me for a while because there was someone on the same train as you. Damaging, yes. Blend. Okay, no, Bill. The name's meant to be a joke, not a literal. You say I've got a drink called a cum stain, and for it to actually have cum in it, no, it's meant to be a joke, not literal. Ah, a drink insulting Milo, the gay Hitler. I think it'd have to be bitter. I think a drink insulting Milo would have to be bitter. Charlie, yes, we could put a little Alan's frog as a garnish on the cocktail for the gay frog drink. So yeah, Bill, as opposed to a drink called a cum stain actually having cum in it, we wouldn't do that. You'd like have a white chocolate, and that's what I'm thinking of for the fragile masculinity drink. It's going to be a white chocolate liqueur, Cointreau, some lemon juice, and some of my red absinthe, which will turn the whole thing pink. Nutella with Bill, you come up with interesting ideas. Nutella with frozen Coke. Wow, and some breast milk on top. Oh, dear. Speaking of all the gay things, you went to a church known as the Gay Church. Nice people. Good. Serve it in a penis-shaped glass. I don't have any penis-shaped glass. I just have like cocktail glasses. No. I see, Major Frost. I don't drink beer. I don't drink beer, or I don't like beer or wine. I do drink cider sometimes. I tend not to drink spirits straight. Although I did get into a tasting thing one night with some work people for some top shelf, like single malt scotches. And that was interesting. It's not something I want to do a lot, but yeah. Seth, you've really gone out there with that one, Seth. A cocktail called the Red Death, vodka, cherry coke, and a sprinkle of red-bellied black snake venom. I'll check the cupboard, but I don't think I have red-bellied black snake venom in there. Miss Foxification, I don't think I have any penis-shaped ice cube trays. Major Frost, my favourite sparkling cider is one that's made out past Geelong. It's called Flying Brick. They make very good cider. Their logo is a cartoon black cockatoo. And there's one that's made in a town called Orange, which is west of Sydney, across the mountains, famous apple growing area. They actually make a cider that's not carbonated. It's a still cider, and that's probably my favourite. They're called Small Acres, and they spell cider with a Y. Heretic Black Panther has come out last week. Freaking awesome movie. His Foxification. MRA cocktail could be full of dick. Ice cubes. I could, yeah, I don't have an ice cube tray. I could go to one of those novelty shops and you can get like the jelly lolly dicks. Major Frost 5 seeds is okay. I mean, a lot of Australian ciders in particular are okay. But I would, yeah, if you want my tip, look for Flying Brick cider from the Bellarine Peninsula, or Small Acres cider with a Y, which is from New South Wales. So that's my main things. Oh, Tara, that's a useful thing to know. Finding out online how to make fake semen. Is that for a stage prop or something? Well, okay. Right, you guys went there, you opened this door, whether you know it or not. A common additive for cocktails is egg white, and that gives you a nice frothy thing. And yeah, I mean, you can make semen jokes with that as you poured it into the shaker, because egg white is really sort of goopy and sticky. You could maybe go there. Joe, a stand to pee drink. Oh, yes. No, sorry. No, I just got your hand. No, but you can actually get penis shaped ice cube trays. I have seen them. Hi, Stella. How are you going? That's true, Miss Foxification. There are lots of cocktails called Orgasm or some variant thereof. Yes, damage the odd. Thanks for Joe. Cream of some young guy. All right, thanks for dropping by, Major Frost. Good to see you, man. Cream of some young guy made like a Colorado pool top. So trying to think. Okay, so I think we've male tiers is probably tequila, lime, and a salt rim. Maybe a salt rim. Oh, you got a week work. Oh, that's good, Stella. Yeah, White Russian is a similar thing. Oh, Miss Foxification, a drink called demasculation. I'm trying to think, because emasculation is the removal of the male genitals. So, okay, I might add something else. Maybe I should actually put the salted caramel vodka, because if it's just tequila, lime, and a salt rim, that's just like a daiquiri or a margarita or something. Major Frost. No, I have not tried the new Coca-Cola flavor. I'm not really a fan of Coca-Cola. Intoxication. There's the untrue rumor that Red Bull has crushed bull balls in it. Yeah, but they have an ingredient called taurine, Taurin, which has got nothing to do with bulls. But yeah, it generated that weird. Some people say, yeah, has crushed bulls' balls or has bull semen in Red Bull, which is of course not true. All right, I think I've decided for extra saltiness, male tiers is going to be tequila, salted caramel vodka, lime juice, and a salted rim on the glass. So I'm going to make that male tiers. Then that was what I was going to call the other one. Fragile masculinity. Now, fragile masculinity, and that's going to be Cointreau, white chocolate liqueur, lemon juice, and red absinthe. And the red absinthe will make it go pink. So for the easily threatened MRAs online, I'm going to drink to fragile masculinity as well. Like, we keep coming up with jokes for some of them just being really horrible. But I don't actually want to make horrible drinks. I want to make drinks that I enjoy drinking. So thinking something that makes fun of Milo. And of course, in Australia, we have the chocolate additive to milk called Milo. And if you shake that up, it goes really frothy. And you do make some cocktails with milk. So maybe I could do that. Something with milk and Milo in it. So when you shake it up, then you pour it out, and it's sort of really frothy as well. But it needs to have something bitter in it as well. You're right, Miss Foxification would go well with Cadbury liqueur, actually. Joe, you enter too soon. Come up with an ironic drink called the racist something. Bill, you still want me to call one the cum stain? I'm going to need an angler. Yeah, I don't really like. You obviously could make it with Bailey's or Tia Maria. I'd probably come back to the white, because Milo spouts the white supremacist shtick as well. So I could use the white chocolate liqueur again, because that would foam up with Milo. Oh, Bill, thank you so much for allowing me to make a drink called the cum stain that I don't actually have to put cum in. That's just great. I'm glad you will allow me that. Yes. So the Milo, I'm thinking I might do a bit of research on milk-based cocktail. In fact, look, we're on the internet while we're talking. Breast milk, Bill, possibly. I'm going to say search on milk-based cocktail and see what comes up. Oh, of course, a white Russian. Okay, a white Russian would be one. What's this one? Milk punch. I think I've seen that somewhere. An old English preparation. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's a bourbon one. Yes, I think I've seen. Yes, okay, and it's got bourbon in it, and I'm a fan of that. So that's bourbon, rum, milk. And see, traditionally, okay, would this be a bit saucy, a bit naughty, uh, if I were to say we could, the Milo one could, because there's a drink called a milk punch, um, uh, and if we're going to put Milo in as a variant, um, uh, and it would be called Milo Punch with a reference. Not that we should punch Milo. We want to punch Richard Spencer is what we want to do. Oh, maybe even just go with punch a white supremacist. It's a white milk punch with Milo in it. Bill, I'm not completely sure that you know how drinks work. You keep suggesting things like cheese and Nutella in a drink, and those are basically solid. Oh, Stella, that's brilliant. A cocksucking cowboy with orange juice because he calls Trump daddy. What's a cocksucking cowboy is like what? Butterscotch schnapps and something else? Bill, it's starting to come across that you're not into cocktails, my friend. Um, see, that's what I'm thinking, the Nazi punch, but if I make a white milk cocktail and then sprinkle some Milo on it as a pun, it becomes a Milo punch or the white supremacist punch. So that would be milk punch plus Milo. So that's three, I think. Joe, a drink called the Bruised Nazi. You're making breakfast hilarity. Just oh, Project Redwood. A white Russian made with skim milk is called a white Canadian. Actually, boil some water, take some peer-reviewed studies you spent hours researching, basic human decency, and a hint of soy, serve it to an MRA, and that's a cup of shut the fuck up. I just want mine to have alcohol in it too. Stella, I haven't either. Uh, but yeah, you're right. The early 2000s is when everyone was doing cocksucking cowboys. I think it was butterscotch. Uh, Butterscotch schnapps and Bailey's Irish cream. Hey, you'll never guess what came up on Google image search when I put in cocksucking cowboy. You won't guess. Mike, make one called ad revenue, but you don't know what would be in it. Musical aviator, that's what I'm thinking of, a punch Milo. And when people say that I'm threatening to punch Milo, I go, no, this is a drink called a milk punch, and it's got Milo on it, so it's a punch Milo. Dash of cinnamon schnapps on top. No, I think, okay, so I've got male tears, I've got a plan for male tears, fragile masculinity, and punch Milo. Yeah, Stella, I think you're right about the orange juice would make you throw up, which would be kind of appropriate who we're talking about. All right, so I'm going to go for a punch Milo. And what else? What are the other things? Like Heretic, you're right. Make a Nazi punch and just call it Richard Spencer. Um, call it the Spencer punch. Spencer punch. It's just that, yeah, Milo's come up because Milo Yiannopoulos should be made fun of, and you do that just by adding Milo to something. But yeah, and because even the white supremacists have this weird shit where they go on about drinking milk. So a milk punch, I'd upset Germans if I just like put a German drink like schnapps in it and said that made it a Nazi punch that we just called the Richard Spencer. But when have I been shy about upsetting people, basically? Oh, the heretic. This is not in reaction to anything specific Milo said recently. This is just generally about what a piece of shit he is. Misfoxification. As Steve Bannon would be turd in a glass. Bill, one called a cocaine. I don't really like Coke as a mixer. Obviously, Coke is a mixer in a lot of drinks. I don't really like cola as a cocktail mixer, though. Joe, if you went to a bar and ordered a good Nazi, you just get a dead one. The Malcolm, absinthe and sherry, because not many people would like it. No, I got it, Bill. I got the cocaine one. I did actually get it. Ooh, you're right, Tara. I have to do something with soy milk in it because that would upset them because they are so easily upset. Oh, misfoxification. That's nice. Raspberry schnapps with black sambuca and call it the Wolfenstein. Oh my god. Shell form, a glass of milk, metho, and a handful of glitter is the bolt job. Oh, Stella, the racist frog. Well, I don't like creme de menthe, but I do. I was having a green drink earlier. The racist frog. Yes. Okay. So the racist frog is going to be green. I don't even know what this is. Look, I'll show you what this stuff is. I'm going to have this time 9 o'clock. I have another drink. Safa, what's a good alcoholic drink to try? Probably depends where your tastes lie. I'm just going to mix myself one. Got to get some ice. Okay. This stuff. Look, I'll show you this stuff. I don't know what this is. I just found this in a bottle shop the other day. I was looking for something else. Lehertic, good tip. Don't ever drink apple cider with white vinegar and soy sauce. I didn't need to be told that, but I'm sure it's a good tip. A drink with powdered milk damage. I actually saw a recipe for one that had cake mix in it the other day. This stuff. Oh, I need my little jigger so I know what I'm drinking. Ah. I was actually looking for something else in a bottle shop, and they had this stuff. What's it called? Bolagnov lime fusion. So I think it's vodka based. It's actually Australian made, but I don't know. I don't think it was a big seller. It was on special. It was like only $10. Now it's only what 20% alcohol, which is, you know, most spirits are 30 to 40% alcohol. So it's not that strong, but it's very green. And it is actually quite a nice lime flavour. And I think do it. And I'm putting in with some lemon soft drink, so making a tall drink rather than a cocktail. And mixy, mixy, mixy. So let's go quite green. Oh, the dew driver. We're back to the dew driver. Peppy mint schnapps. That's pretty good shelf warmer. I do like that. So the racist frog be my green drink. What goes well with lime? Tequila goes well with lime, doesn't it? So it'd be like the green drink and tequila. Maybe it needs a bit of salt as well because the racists are a bit salty. Letter T, I'm drinking this stuff. I don't even know what it is. It was just in a bottle shop. It's lime flavor. It's probably a vodka base. I don't know. Ha ha! Shelf warmer is his name bearing because he only has one ball. Well, I like the really lateral thinking earlier that he looks like Berenstain Ball. So just call him Stain. Letter T, you like to suck a lot of cock. Well, it's good to have an interest in life, I always say. And you know, that sounds like win-win. You like to suck cock. Most dudes like to have their cock sucked. So there you go. The Spirit Bomb. I like the sound of that, Bill. We just have to work out what's actually in it. So I think the racist frog will be this lime stuff and tequila and maybe a little bit of salt because the racists are a bit salty. Well, that's 4. I'm going to make those all this weekend, probably. That's a good start. Tara, add Vegemite to... Okay, well, I want something a bit salty. Vegemite's a bit salty. Not sure what it'd be like as a drink additive, though. Charlie Litton, like from DBZ. I'm not sure. Oh, Spirit Bomb from Dragon Ball Z. Right. Yes, of course. Yeah. So what would something we actually drop in to be a Spirit Ball? Ha! Joe, the holy shit, a really strong drink. Call it the holy shit because that's what they say when drinking. Well, I do have my herbal infusion up there that is based around 95% alcohol Polish spiritus, rectified spirit. But yes, I was trying to come up with insulting drink names to upset the right wingers who are upset. Or blue and white bill for a spirit bomb. That sounds like a shot, really, doesn't it? Try and layer something that's blue and something that's white. Ooh, yes, Miss Foxification, something yellow. Mike, a serious one. Try vanilla Coke and Midori. Call it the good night because it tastes like cough medicine. Miss Foxfation, something yellow would be called the piss week argument. Oh my god. I'm trying to think. I actually do have some yellow ones, and some of the fruit citrus infused ones are a yellow color as well. Safa, is there a limit on how much alcohol you can buy to store at one time? I don't think so. Although at a certain point they might start to look at you funny. Man, you should go to Costco where they sell like 1.75 and 2 liter bottles. The heretic, you wonder if the millennial Nazis would support a white ethno-state if they knew there'd be no more Chipotle or any other good food. Good thing. Oh, Miss Foxification, coconut rum and lemon. That could work. Do I have a grudge? I don't think I have a grudge. I think some people have a grudge against me. Can't think of anyone I have a grudge against. Do I like alcohol? Yes. Still a flaming cocktail, call it the Nazi tiki torch. So you said, okay, the trouble with that is I think they'd like it. I'm trying to come up with insulting things. So trying to come up with insulting things. You're right, Miss Foxification. Margaritas are yellow and salty. I've got some salty ones. I think we want a bitter one, like a gin base can be bitter. I mean, I don't actually have. What are the ones that traditionally? Oh, well, I have bitters, as in flavored bitters, and I could use. I have some grapefruit juice. Uh, um, uh, so maybe gin and grapefruit juice and some bitters. We call them MGTOW because I always think that those old men going their own way are just bitter. So make one with bitters and call it a MGTOW. Letter T, do I like bearing? I don't know bearing. I thoroughly dislike bearing's behavior. Bearing displays the behavior of a lying, hypocritical, racist, misogynist coward. That doesn't mean I have a grudge against him. That's just an observation based on what he does. So I don't like drinks that are too bitter either. And hello, Shadow Eyes. How's it going? Miss Foxification, I have actually made drinks with the sour lollies like Warheads and whatnot before. Like, so not you could just drop one in, you're right. Although I've actually sort of left them in the spirit so they melt in and the flavor goes into the spirit. So we want one that won't catch fire to show how inept they are. That's not a bad idea. Oh, you've been hard at the uni work, Shadow Eyes. Well, I'm glad you sort of got something. I might just make a note. A MGTOW is bitter. And I'll look up what is, well, that's a few. I can make those this weekend and release the videos one a week over 5 weeks or something. I'm happy with that as a start, actually, for some insulting cocktails. So, all right, so I'm going to make the male tears, the fragile masculinity, the punch Milo, the racist frog, and the MGTOW. Joe, is it true if we want to drink the pokes fun at the righty should be pathetic and kind of dumb? I also want to make drinks I want to drink. Catch reflection, hangover, me? No, I'm going to drink them all at once. I don't, as a general rule, get hangovers. I was very tired on Sunday because I went out to White Night and I did have a couple drinks. On Friday, I'd helped a friend move house, so my arms were tired and sore. And then on Saturday night, Sunday morning, I was walking around all night. My legs ended up sore. I did have a few drinks, and I got home at about, I don't know, 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., and I had a bit of sleep and got up. I got up about lunchtime, and for all Sunday afternoon, I was quite tired. I didn't have a hangover as such, but I was quite tired. Then it got to the stage like, oh my God, okay, I'm sort of tired. My arms hurt, my legs hurt. I was not the happiest of campers on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. I had to preemptively apologize to my family, like, hey, I'm going to try really hard not to be obnoxious and crabby, but preemptively warning you I might be, because I'm super tired and kind of achy, but I'm fine now. Saying Joe, angry taste testing. This jinx. What's the old saying? Oh, 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor. I saw an extension of that recently on Twitter thing. Someone on Twitter extended that little poem. It was like 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, 4, 5 tequila, 6 tequila. Text my ex some more. I really like that as a follow-on to that. But yes. Oh, the heretic, the men going their own way thing. Yeah, it does sound like marketing for a gay dating site. And I don't know, they do seem to be saying like, we don't need women. It's like, okay, I suppose you could, jerk it all the time. I often think masturbation is underrated, actually. If you don't want to be in a relationship with another human, I don't think you need to be. But, misfoxification, I'm sure you're right that there are Trump supporter dating sites. Dating sites are so segmented that there is going to be something for everyone. Oh. Joe, not as think as you drunk I am. Good to know. Good to know. Then you're like, what other fun things have been happening this week? Tell you what, very early on, we did talk about the gun control thing. The one thing that I'm interested in is the growing movement after the Florida shooting of school kids taking the lead and just went, no, we're fucking sick of this shit. And they're talking about having a national walkout day on April 20th, the anniversary of the Columbine shootings, and just making more and more public statements of we're not going to stand for this bullshit with guns anymore. I don't hold out a lot of hope of change because just looking at America, it feels like nothing's going to change. But I back these kids 1,000,000%. And hey, the national walkout from school is a really clever idea because then you get all the kids who sort of aren't that politically motivated or even don't give a shit about gun control just going, walk out of school, I'll do that. So you'll get this big symbolic public thing of all the kids walking out of school on the 20th. I don't know. It could work. Who knows? But the ugly thing is because these kids have taken it on themselves to make these really strong public statements. It's quite frankly terrifying how the right wing is attacking them. Redfoot, it's 5:15 a.m. here. Peace out to you and all. 9:15 p.m. here. Tired of women telling you what to do? Hiding some secret feelings you're uncomfortable expressing? Go to MGTOW. MGTOW, all men all the time. Shelf warmer, raspberry cordial and vodka. And when you're halfway through, pour it into another glass. And that's the Barnaby choice, the Barnberry choice. That's a very Australian reference there. For those who don't know, Barnaby Joyce is a conservative politician who touted family values, and at the same time he was touting family values, he was fucking someone on his staff and tore his family apart because he's a hypocritical piece of shit. Misfoxification. 50 Shades of Pink and Sweaty. Ha! Now we're getting into my sex life. Oh, you know, I shouldn't be too harsh on Barnaby and what he looks like having sex because he's my age. So, yes, Tara, he did in fact get his staffer preggers. So, yeah, not even smart enough to use contraception. Stella, your shitty Australian internet's working against you. I understand. Completely understand. Intoxications is not gay unless balls touch. The heretic is saying that's why you never joined a fraternity. That is a weird thing. And again, if you're an American, you might not realize how weird the American fraternity sorority system seems to people outside of America, because it seems really weird. Hiya, Christian. How's it going? Yeah, it really does. That whole fraternity thing and the ritual hazing and whatnot seems super weird. Apparently, it does happen at the big unis here. They have what they call colleges, not actually called fraternities or sororities, but some of that shit happens here. Toriana, you do hit the nail on the head there that cheaters have no morals or integrity, but that already describes politicians, even if they're not cheating on their partners. Oh, cool. Christian, you give me a VIP tour of Parliament House if I'm in Canberra. Who knows? Might go to somewhere. Aitsy's from Canberra. So sometimes we travel. Yes. La Heretic, it is funny that they call that fraternity system the Greek culture, because your classical Greek culture was, in fact, super gay. It was just the mainstream. That was the weirdest thing, like when the movie 300 came out, about Spartans, and when lots of people would point out, like, because I mean, the dudes in 300 were almost nude, and they were all super ripped, and you couldn't. I find that movie heaps of fun, but you can't help looking at it and going, "This is one of the most homoerotic movies I've ever seen." And well, which fits with the Greek culture of the time. And I remember at the time when that was a new movie, and some foolish young boys thinking there was some historical accuracy in it, and they they were saying, like, "Oh no, the Spartans weren't gay. That was the boy lovers in Athens or something." I thought, why are they saying that? Uh, because it's a line in the movie. But the Spartan system, they had, I don't know about, well, racist baby rapists. They were a conquering army. I think that was just a done thing. But there was a thing within Spartan culture where an older man would sponsor a young man, and that meant he was going to have sex with the young man who was in his charge. And that was just a core part of Spartan society. Like, most of them would still get married and have their own children. But it was also a thing with the older men would pick a young man, as in underage man, and the whole thing would be having sex with them. There's a comic series by an American mathematician called Larry Gonick called The Cartoon History of the Universe. And he actually did a whole bunch of cartoon histories. And they're really good. They're really good fun. He did quite a bit of research into it. And he was having a bit of fun with the story of the 300 Spartans, because he'd already explained the thing where the culture had this thing of older men taking a young protege they were going to have sex with. And the story goes, when the Persian king Xerxes was coming up against the Spartans, and they were taking a break, and Xerxes asks his scouts, "What are the Spartans doing?" And the scout says, "They're having their hair done," because the Spartans thought it was important to look good. The one thing the movie 300 neglected, most tellings of the story of the 300 Spartans, they actually had an entourage with them, their slaves and whatnot. And they did have their hair done before battle because they thought looking good was important. And in this comic, he has Xerxes saying to his scouts, "What are the Spartans doing now?" The scout says, "They're getting their hair done." And Xerxes goes, "Really? They think a hairdo is important? What, do they like little boys too?" And the scout says, "Well, funny you should say that. Yeah, that's kind of big with them as well." So it's kind of funny when homophobic boys idolize something like that and have a lot of trouble wrapping their head around. No, those guys were really into the dick. Okay, it's just it certainly wasn't regarded as weak or feminine to have sex with other men. That was just what they did. Oh, Stella, you're getting satellite internet. Ooh, I didn't know they still did that. Joe, that is interesting. You're saying like when you were in the gay church, you felt like you were the only cisgender hetero guy there. That is interesting. And I feel like I learned early on when I moved to Sydney after uni in my early 20s and being at a party where a gay dude hit on me and not wanting to be uncool. I just wasn't interested. But I thought, this is really interesting. This person is, they're chatting me up and trying to be nice to me. They're not being awful in any way, but I have no interest whatsoever. And I'm trying to like let them down easy. And then I'll think, oh, this is what it's like for women all the time. All the time. Someone who's not necessarily being awful, but is clearly coming on to you and you have no interest in them whatsoever. So how do you say, no, not interested without, sounding awful about it? Damage, your nephew says, hey, hello, Damage's nephew. I hope you're doing good, doing well. There you go. It was the Metropolitan Community Church in New Farm, Queensland. There you go. Well, that's good. I mean, look, as we've had these discussions before, I'm not a church person at all. Was brought up Catholic, and was even an altar boy for a while. But yeah, that was the past me. I wouldn't expect you to get chatted up in church. I'm sure it happens. I also would expect the people in a church to be quite respectful. They knew you weren't gay. They're not going to hassle you. I'm talking about parties and nightclubs and whatnot. The heretic, that's it. And that's why I can't stand MRAs. The misogynists who just have ridiculous double standards with women. I think every straight guy needs to have a gay guy hit on them because then you understand, oh, this is what it feels like when the person is not being awful. In fact, they're probably being quite nice, but you have zero interest whatsoever in hooking up with them. Like, oh, okay, that's how women feel all the time. Okay. So, yeah, I'm definitely not even saying straight guys need an aggressive gay guy to force themselves on him. You want a nice person, someone who's not even necessarily unattractive, but they're making a move on you and you have no interest in them at all. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, they're being complimentary to me. Yeah, it's flattering their attention, but I have no interest in hooking up with them. It's an important thing to understand. And I do feel like an overwhelming majority of straight men can't get that through their fucking heads that that's a scenario that happens. Oh, Stella, because you're in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Satellite is your NBN. Okay, I get it. Yeah, yep. Satellite used to be more common even in metro areas, like in the 90s, early 2000s. But I thought it had kind of drowned out. There it was a Coloured Humour video about gay guys will steal your girlfriends if gay marriage isn't legal. I don't know. You're right, misfoxification. The overwhelming number of straight guys have never been on the receiving end of an unwanted advance. And it's good therapy. It's something that it is actually important to understand that the person making advances on you might not be awful. They might be being nice. They might be being respectful and complimentary. You might even think for a minute, oh, it's kind of cool that they fancy me and want to hit on me, but I'm just not interested. I honestly think so few straight guys understand that. And so, yeah, I think it's an experience more straight guys should have. And Stella, I think you're right about lack of empathy as well. But yes, the fraught dating scene. Man, I'm so glad that I'm not in the dating scene anymore. Joe Will, you've been on the receiving end of unwanted advance. No, it doesn't feel good, or it has the capacity not to feel good. Let it see. We should go to New Zealand and start a fight with members of the mongrel mob gang. I have no idea how active they still are, but if you want to get kind of scared, if you've never seen it, like watch the movie Once Were Warriors, or the sequel, What Becomes of the Broken Hearted. Like I saw Once Were Warriors, was it 80s, early 90s when it was new, and that made me go, man, I don't know that I ever want to go to New Zealand because they made the Maori gang, the mongrel mob, look scary as hell. There's one scene where the mongrel mob are in a car and it's a really beat up car. It's falling off and it's trailing huge amounts of smoke, and they overtake a cop car in this obviously unroadworthy car, but it's got like 5 or 6 of the mongrel mob in there, big motherfuckers with their face tattoos and stuff. And there's like 2 white cops in this police car. And this is a really aggressive move to overtake them in an obviously unroadworthy car. And the cops just go, no, 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 just no, no, just let it go. Didn't see any of that. Letter G saying mongrel mob is still very active. That's why I prefaced it with well, ignorance is the right word, I suppose. I don't know what the current environment is like in New Zealand, but yes, the mongrel mob do seem like a very scary bunch, quite honestly. Oh my God, Stella, you're mining a single woman in a mining town of less than 1,000 people. That does sound awful. I remember a friend of mine years ago. She was traveling around a bit, and she said she spent a bit of time in Coober Pedy, and she was in. For those who know, Coober Pedy is a mining town. It's in the desert. It's opal mining. A lot of people live underground, and it's pretty fucking crazy. And she said, "Yeah, I spent a week or 2 in Coober Pedy, and yeah, it was pretty hardcore." And it was, oh my God, you got a pretty mouth. We doing deliverance lines now. Yeah, I think Stella knows exactly what she's saying with her. Let it tell you, saying the mongrel mob have a chapter in Darwin. I don't know. You do get some Pacific Islanders who bond together. I mean, I'm trying to think where I grew up. Okay, they were very loosely organised motorcycle gangs in the country areas where I grew up. But there was the Rebels and the Finks, and well, obviously there's the Hells Angels, and there was one that was mostly made up of Pacific Islanders. And honestly, I wouldn't have fucking gone near any of them because they were all a bit threatening. Yeah. Oh, Charlie, you think they filmed Pitch Black in Coober Pedy? You may be right. Oh, I'm glad you've got some boys who can give a particularly persistent man a message, Stella, because I can see that would be necessary. Oh, that's right, Damage, the Banditos. That was the famous shootout in the car park in Sydney ages ago, 80s or 90s. The Banditos and the Comancheros had a bit of a shootout in Western Sydney. I think Mad Max was in Broken Hill. Let it tell you, I will take your word for it that the Hells Angels are soft cunts. I have no first-hand knowledge, and if any Hells Angels are watching, I am not endorsing that measurement at any point. I'm just noting that someone sharing that opinion with me. Oh, oh, sorry. Larry, you're saying you grew up in Tennessee and people aren't that inbred. Of course they're not. That was a bloody Hollywood stereotype. That's the other thing. Through the magic of the internet, I have friends in places like Tennessee, West by God, Virginia, from the Appalachians, and they will tell me scary stories about their neighbours. But obviously, about 90% of stuff you see in popular media is ridiculous stereotypes. Oh yeah, okay, Miss Foxication. I wouldn't be surprised if yeah, the house in the cave would be in the Cooperpedia area. That's what they're into it. It's crass and obscene, and not allowed to advertise it. You have to ask around. Let it see you want to punch on with the things. Look, I'm not really into punching on. As I have said, I think punching actual Nazis is perfectly valid. But as a general rule, punching is quite antisocial. And yeah, because I grew up in country towns, that was punch-ons were often a first resort to even mild conflicts where I grew up. Not really a thing I'm into anymore. So I used to do the boxing training at the Police Boys Club. Now it's the Police Citizens Youth Club. Police PCBC when I was young. Police Citizens Boys Clubs. But now, because it's the girls go in as well, it's the Police Citizens Youth Club. But where I grew up in Dubbo in Western New South Wales, we even had an Olympic boxer, an Olympic bronze medalist, who used to train us, and he could be a bit of a bastard, quite honestly. Oh, okay, Stella. Mad Max 2 was in Silverton, just out of Broken Hill. And then you're right. No, Mad Max 1. Yeah, it was Anarchy Road. That was past Melbourne, Bacchus Marsh, Geelong area. The concept of punching down, you'd rather not miss and hit concrete. That's an interesting thing. For those who've never heard the term, it's a term often used in comedy, because comedy can be very mean. But a lot of people say you should really only punch down. This even goes back to Shakespearean times. I'm just going to lay some fucking classical education on you. Shakespearean plays, a lot of the plays have a fool in it. And that's in both the tragedies and the comedies. There's a fool. And the fool in the king's court did stupid things and was stupid. But the fool could speak truth to power. The fool could tell the king, you are being really stupid right now. Like everyone thinks I'm stupid, but what you're doing is really stupid. And generally, people in the court can't criticize the king or they'll be executed. But the fool, because he's a fool, can do it. So the idea, there's this idea that biting comedy is funny when you're attacking someone in power. But if you're someone in a relatively powerful position picking on someone in a weak position, that's a bit of a dog act. It's more the power of comedy where you use it to attack more powerful people. Using comedy to attack people who are more vulnerable than you is called punching down. And there's a strong school of thought that says that's a bad thing to do. Let it see. Rebels are all right. They're becoming soft guns like the Hells Angels. Do I want to punch on? Well, as I said, let it see. I'm not big into the punch-ons these days. As the environment where I grew up, like I said, punch-ons tended to be a first resort. for even mild conflicts, or even just because people were bored. Like I said, I did boxing at the Police Boys Club, and that's how I got it out of my system. About 4 or 5 years of boxing training. So mostly left that behind me, though. Heretic, fun fact about Shakespeare. Some of his most famous plays starred all-male casts, even in roles supposed to be lovers, like Romeo and Juliet. Ah, right. This is because this is my university education, was in theatre, in classical theatre. The law, the time that Shakespeare was writing and performing, was that women were not allowed to perform in the theatre. It was against the law because actors were of loose morals and bad things, and it would be the downfall of a woman to be in the theatre. So, as a general rule, at the time that Shakespeare was writing and performing, all roles were played by male actors. The female roles were usually played by the young actors because they were a bit more smooth-faced and pretty. It's even self-referential in one of his comedies, which is about, it's a very self-referential play. It's about a traveling group of players. When the person in charge tells one of the young lads, "You're going to be the woman in this play," he has this a line where he says, "Nay, Faith, let me not play a woman, for I have a beard coming." And the joke in that would be you would get the most effeminate, smooth-skinned boy to play that role. He's trying to sound butch. He's going, "I can't possibly play a woman. I'm far too rugged and butch-looking." And the joke would be you would have the youngest, most effeminate-looking boy in the company play that role. He's like super deluded about how tough and manly he looks. Yeah, there's lots of weird things where when you look at the laws that were in place in Shakespeare's time. Like there was one law while he was doing his plays in London. There was a law that a performance was only allowed to go for, I think, an hour or maybe even 90 minutes. But if you've ever tried to read a Shakespeare play, they take a couple of hours to get through. So when you look at the fact that there was a law on the books that limited how long a performance would go, and there's no way you could jam a Shakespeare play into that performance time, my interpretation of that is they were clearly paying off the town authorities to say, okay, I know we're not allowed to do this, but if we slip you a few coins, you'll turn a blind eye and we'll be able to think, hey, Jatma, how's it going? You caught just right at the end. Another 10 or 20. I need to start a gang. Later, T. My motivation for starting things like gangs is much lower than it used to be. The heretic gay men have always had a place in theatre. Probably. I mean, you look at another famous contemporary of Shakespeare's, Christopher Marlowe. He was widely regarded to be openly homosexual, as in everyone knew he was, which is probably why he got into so many fights. He was killed in a duel, although there are conflicting stories as to the nature of the duel, if it was just a fight in a pub, because there are also rumours that Marlowe was a spy for the crown, and it might have been a political murder made to look like a barroom brawl, but records are so sketchy we'll probably never know. Oscar Wilde got killed by the French for it. Did he? I don't know how he died. He got arrested by the British and jailed for being gay. That's a fascinating story. If you've never read Oscar Wilde's, Oscar Wilde, everyone sort of turned a blind eye to the fact he was super gay because it was illegal. And he's always surrounding himself with these young boys, and he was having an affair with the Marquis of Queensberry's son, which the Marquis of Queensberry, who was a notoriously violent dude, Queensberry rules in boxing were named after him. He thought Wild having a fairly open fling with his son was destroying his family name. So he sent a letter to the club where Wild was always hanging out. And it was addressed to, it said, Oscar Wilde posing as a sodomite. And Wilde took that as an insult and also a threat that he was saying, you're a sodomite and that's illegal. So Wilde took the Marquis of Queensberry to court for defamation and said, no, I'm not. And Wilde was a really good raconteur and orator, and he was super winning the court case because he had everyone on his side with all these funny lines. There's notorious lines like the guy saying, like, you know, do you normally drink in the morning? And Wilde says, oh, my doctor said I mustn't. And the lawyer said, never mind what your doctor says. And Wilde says, oh, don't worry, I never do. And everyone laughed, blah, 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 blah. And then there was an informant who, because, of course, the guys Wilde was actually having affairs with weren't testifying, because that meant testifying that they were also gay, and that was a criminal offence. But they had an informer who was willing to testify. He said, "Oh, you know, Wilde kissed me," and when the prosecutor said to Wilde, like, Mr. Smith over here says you kissed him, is that true? And Wilde just went, I wouldn't kiss him, he's too ugly. And that was Wilde's big slip when he said, I won't kiss someone who's that ugly. Because then the prosecutor was like, so you'll only kiss pretty boys. And Wilde got all flustered. And Wilde eventually lost the case and was jailed, did hard labour for being a sodomite. So that's a short version. Letter T saying, I should start a gang to slap Bering. Okay, like I said, I have said that in big public rallies, punching Nazis is acceptable. Bering's not a Nazi. Bering's just a sad fucking wannabe. He's a misogynist. He's a racist. He's also a coward. No, I wouldn't advocate violence against him. I don't think that's appropriate. I mean, I'd say mean things. I say mean things. Let it to you would kiss me. Again, Mrs. Angry might have words about that. A chummy hug you'd probably get away with. Just had my anniversary dinner date last night, in fact. Yeah. Oh, look, a bit of research. The French didn't kill him, but he did die of natural causes, maybe meningitis in France. Yeah, the hard labour in England destroyed Wilde's health, I think. The heretic. Look, if the Stain started getting swastika tattoos and actually preaching Nazi ideology at public rallies, that would be different. But he's not doing that. So I have a nice cushy bum. Well, letter T, I tell you, the two things that have always won over the ladies for me is my smile and my cute bum. So there you go. I'm just saying what other people have told me. Ooh, Stella, Dublin, recommend the literary pub crawl. That does sound like good. Shatner, I would, yes. I think you're probably right that the Greeks remember basically everyone prior to antibiotics had horrible genital infections. Everyone did. Oh man, there was a series that I really enjoyed just a couple of years ago. I think it only ran for 2 seasons. It was called The Nick, and it was a fictionalized account of the Knickerbocker Hospital in New York, the turn of the 19th, 20th century. And they were fucking all drug addicts, and everyone had syphilis, and the treatments for sexual diseases were fucking awful. But do you think I'm good to kiss? I am a good kisser. There's no two ways around it. But again, Mrs. Angry's got a monopoly on that, so you're going to have to take my word for it. The heretic, I think it's probably reasonable to say religion created the antagonism towards homosexuality. I mean, because different, when you look at historical evidence, different societies in different parts of the world at different times have quite openly embraced homosexuality and bisexuality. They've openly embraced the idea of more than one gender. Jatma, I get what you say. Saying it'd be funny if you had Mrs. Angry laughing in the background then when I said that I'm a good kisser. If she laughed, ha, you wish. No, because there's no one here to contradict me at the moment. So as far as you know, it's true. I'm a good kisser. You're out, Damage. I'm out soon too. It's 10 to 10 now. Got to get ready for Betty buys. Do I kiss my kids? Is a kiss on the cheek never goes astray. I am actually a believer of what's the best way to do it? Like, kids shouldn't think displays of love between parent and child is weird. They don't get any tongue, but it's the thing. Oh my God. Oh yeah, Stella Morris. Yeah, the Clive Owens. The Nick is the one where Clive Owens gets a needle in the penis, along with many, many, many other things. He's a mad drug addict in that. Oh, the heretic. I know heaps of non-homophobic religious people. I just think there are also people who use religion as an excuse for being homophobic. Jatma, a thread with two crazy rednecks. That sounds interesting. Saying things like stabbing in Alice Springs, and someone saying this, oh my God, sorry, yes, I did see that. That was insane. They were just saying the most stupid things. Absolutely stupid. Letter T, Wolf Creek is a documentary. Yep, I know what you're talking about now, Jatma. Yes, they were saying just astoundingly stupid things. That's the weirdest thing, because I made it clear in my recent video and other videos, I think America's problem is they don't have enough gun regulation, and you always get the gun nuts say the dumbest shit. You do get people who are pro-gun control say stuff that's not logical and it's all emotion-driven and isn't held up by reality. But gun nuts say the dumbest shit. It's just like, weird. Let it tell you, I don't even know what Mac loving is. So, OxyClaim gets the toughest stains out. Yes, he will just be the stain from now on. The stain on society. And his sycophantic followers are the shit stains. Shelfwarmer, you make a good point. But the two options, I think a gay guy having a crush on you or a straight guy wanting to punch you, the gay guy having a crush is a better option. That's flattering. Anyone else? So, yeah, Shatner, you're probably right. He's probably pairing twice. As he has shown no shame in setting up fake name accounts. Yeah. Oh my God! Misfoxification, that thing about MRAs not wiping because they think it's gay. That's a video I keep meaning to do about septic masculinity. And there are a very small number, but there are these threads on various online discussion forums, super weird guys who won't wipe their ass when they shit and won't wash their ass properly because they think it's gay. That's like the weirdest thing. Sorry, Jack, but that sounds like an absolutely brilliant series of videos. Chickens eating. You feed your chickens fancy food like sushi. That sounds great. Tyrannical Wolf. How do I do the things I do on Australian politics? I read news. I read news and I form opinions. The heretic, right? No, I am going to make a video on the guys who won't wipe their ass because it's crazy. Yep, no, Jatma, I think you're on target for the YouTube millions with the chickens eating videos. I love it. I think it sounds great. I think that's an awesome idea. But yeah, I am going to make a video about this is like a weird mutation of toxic masculinity that these guys won't wipe or clean their ass because they think it's gay. That's just the weirdest fucking thing ever. That's just the level of messed up going on there. It's so hard to compute. Wow. Okay, Jamie, you got the first idea when your mum fed them a fancy Nishan salad, a French tuna salad with beans. I think it's a good idea. Oh, no. See, Jahatma, look, if you want the example, do a Google search on septic masculinity, and I think you'll end up at a Boing Boing post that has links to someone's Twitter feed and stuff. It came from Reddit forums, and it's really bad. Like guys who stink really bad, and their wives say they leave brown stains on the sheets in bed. It's just crazy. Oh my God. Yes, Joe, the live stream will be ending any minute. So thanks for dropping by. Good night to you. What I think go out on a high note. Finish by talking about guys who won't wipe their ass because they think it's. Jatma, you hit the nail on the head. How do these guys have wives? I don't understand how anyone puts up with them. But it's apparently real, and I am gonna do. Jatma, you've got to send me a link when Chicken's Eating goes live. I so want to watch that. I think that has its own hook that could really work. Anyway, I am going to go. It's just I love you too, Letter T. I love me as well. I love all of God's creatures, even the ones I hate. So the heretic is like TG stuck a banana up his ass. Oh dear. Anyway, oh yes, do the thumbs up, people. It's all fine. Thank you everyone for dropping by. I'm going to leave you now. Hope to see you all again soon. Always enjoy these live streams. And you're always heaps of fun to hang out with. And I will be back again hopefully soon. Hope I see you then. Goodbye to all of you. Bye. And that should be